Hello, YouTube family, and welcome to another episode of This and That. Yes, it is your boy Rosie, your soon-to-be #1 YouTube host. It was Monday when we posted a video. I promised y'all I was going to show you a slight modification we did to the Jeep that made the wife gasp. Therefore, I introduce you to said modification. Stand by. All right, family. This is going to be, I always promise y'all a real quick video. I say, oh, it's going to be 9 minutes, 10 minutes, and it usually winds up being 17, 18 minutes. We're going to try to stay on schedule this week. All right, right here you can see I'm moving my water bottle over. And what led to this modification and this hack, in every video you watch, when you see a Jeeper or somebody like me with a Jeep of this sort, they always, when they set it up for camping or they put storage in the back, we always lose this storage compartment that's right here. And when I turned my toolbox sideways, I lost that as well because I could not lift this storage compartment. So what I did was, and I didn't catch it on video, I didn't record it because I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. But what I did was, I cut this down the middle. So now, ta-da! I have a storage compartment. Now, those of you that know anything about Jeeps, this just simply slides out. There's two slots up in here that this just slides up into, and you just pull it and it slides out. I can't do that right now because I had a toolbox on it. But what happened was, when I made this modification, I took my skill saw and I cut this. And you can see right here, if you can see that edge, you can see where I cut it with the skill saw. Straight cut, no problems, nothing frayed or anything like that. This liner on top stayed, it didn't fray, so that's all good. But what I did have to do was cut the carpet. I had the carpet upside down, and it prevented slippage. It's that matte material that's underneath. So when I got ready to cut it, I thought it'd be better to cut it, flip it over, and cut it right between these two letters in Jeep. But what I didn't think of, this is an anti-slip type or anti-skid type material. This carpet is not. So when I put the toolbox on it, when I would turn a corner, the toolbox would slide. By the end of a trip, the toolbox would be almost turned this way. So I decided to drill a hole in the toolbox here, drilled a matching hole on the other side, and I'll drop some footage of me drilling that hole in right here. So we drilled a hole, we took some cable, I took I think a clothes hanger wire, I ran it through the hole, taped the end, pulled this wire through. And in the Jeep, you have these hooks. You have one here, you have one here, you have one in the middle here, and you have one on the end next to the seat. So I ran my cable through and I hooked them here. Well, once I did that, I thought to myself, I've been wanting a little extra storage space. So while you're working on the Jeep, why not build yourself a platform? I went to Lowe's, bought me some wood, and I am no carpenter by no means, people, but I got me a sheet of wood, and this sheet of birch plywood, I think it's called, was 35 bucks. Bought me some 2x4s, measured, cut it the length, and I cut this a little bit longer than the toolbox, cut them the length, and this being a 2x4, it gave me 4 inches of elevation. So what I did, now I have storage space underneath the box. So I stored, I got my screwdriver here to take the Jeep top off. I got aluminum foil. I have some Spam, some hot and spicy Spam. We're here in Louisiana. I got some yellowfin tuna, And now, so now I got extra storage. Got a can of my butane gas. So I created myself a nice little storage spot. I keep my paper towel tucked in right here because I haven't found a place to put my paper towel holder yet. Then, once I did that, I had my creative juices flowing. And forgive me, it's not a lot of light in here, but this is just an informational video. So once I started creating space, I thought to myself, I have all this space in the top of the toolbox and it's kind of wasted. So the remaining wood that I had from this cut, I took it, cut it to size, stuck a piece of 2x4s, and I'm not done with this one yet, I'm just testing. I put this in here. I put my stove on top, my Hot Logic portable oven on top. I put my, so then now I created myself a nice little cubby hole underneath. So now I can put stuff like my small pot under here, Tanya's coffee cup. So I got a lot more room. So with that modification led to this modification, led to this modification, that led to this modification. And I created myself a ton more space. The only thing is every time I get ready to access this space, and I got things in here I don't use a lot, drill motor, I got a little extra gas in there, my toilet paper, some of my recovery gear. Just got a few things that I don't use often, but I gotta move my water supply every time I get ready to go in there, but that's no big deal. That's simply strapped into place right here. I run it through here, bring it down to this hook, and that is that. All right, the only other thing, there's one other thing I had. Oh, I think when I first started talking to y'all, I told y'all I flipped this over and it caused it to skid. I know a lot of people might ask me, well, why didn't you just flip it back over? Well, if you can see, when I cut it offset from the center because I wanted to kind of cut it as close to here as I could to create a larger opening here, not thinking that I would have a skid problem. If I had cut it down the center, I could have just simply taken this and flipped it back over. So the only thing stood for me for flipping it over was an E. I could have cut it right, maybe in the middle of the two E's instead of the J and the E, and I could have been able to flip it back over and resolve my problem. But that was one of those happy accidents that actually allowed me to create more space. So by putting the platform underneath the toolbox, putting a platform in the toolbox, I created a ton more space. All right, family, so that was the modification that I did to the Jeep that I told you my wife probably, that she made her gasp. She could not believe that I was gonna actually cut this cubby hole. But I don't mind drilling, cutting, putting holes in my stuff. Once I purchase it, most of my purchases of my vehicles, they're for work, they're for a purpose, and I don't have anything so elegant that I could not modify it or cut it. I have holes in this Jeep. Matter of fact, let me show y'all one right up here. And this is a small hole, but in order to access from my phone cord right here, I drilled a hole right here for it to come through. So when I put my phone up here to charge it, I simply plug it in here. And it runs down behind my air conditioning vent. These comes out and goes down to my charger. So once again, I do not have a problem drilling a hole in my vehicle. Once I purchase it and it's mine, baby. And that's how we roll here, this and that. All right, family. So like I said, I think, how long is this? Woo, 9 minutes. We kept it under 10 minutes, family. So that's our modification. Quick, down and dirty video. If you own a Jeep, do not be afraid to make this cut, because if you do make the cut and it doesn't work, I don't know how much this thing costs, but it can't be that expensive. I'll look it up, and when I find it, I'll leave a price in the comment section below to let you know how much that thing costs. But that's my modification. Now I have access to my trunk, my Jeep trunk. All right, family, if y'all enjoyed this video, as usual, give her a thumbs up. If not, give her a thumb down and a brief reason why in the comment section. And if you love what we're doing here, this and that, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we drop one of these awesome videos. It's your boy Rosie. Y'all have a great day, a great week, and a great rest of this 2021. Peace.